going to start. Sit at the edge of the chair so that your sit bones are really at the edge. Yeah? And have your knees kind of wide, but in a place where you feel it doesn't restrict the movement in the pelvis. If it's too wide, it creates tension. If it's too narrow, you're going to hold yourself to not to fall. So somewhere wide that feels kind of comfortable, where you can lean your sit bones to the chair. You can put your arms on your knees like this, in a very simple way. And first just roll your pelvis a little bit backwards and forward. So you're rolling your pelvis in this kind of way. Let me just bring something that you can see. So, as if this is the pelvis, sit bones are here, and we're just rolling it like that. The spine is here and it's waving. Sit bones are here and we're rolling front and back. And you're rolling front and rolling back. And see that you can make the push come from the feet. So the feet start to push and it pushes the pelvis to roll. And you allow your lower back and your belly to curve in. You allow that movement to come up the spine. Allow your ribs to relax here, your rib cage, your shoulders, your neck. And allow these waves to go through the spine as you're rolling in and front. When you're rolling front, see that you can really allow the pelvis to fall to the front. Fall to the front and the belly opens, the chest opens, the whole spine is going down to the front and back down. To the front and back down. Front and back down. And now connect all the way from the feet, waving. You're pushing the feet into the floor, knees receiving the movement movement goes into the pelvis, from the pelvis to the belly, the lower spine, into the rib cage, into the chest, behind your shoulder blades. The shoulders are relaxed so they can move front and back if they need to. And all the way to the neck and up and out through the head. Okay, and then start to roll it from side to side. So now, if these are the sit bones here, I'm rolling like that. And this requires me to put my weight down here. You can even put your hands on the hips here and just down and then down from the other side. Down from this side and down from the other side. And see what you need to open up in your lower back. What do you need to open up in your belly? How can the ribs here participate? How can the shoulders here participate? What do the knees have to do? How can the heels support this movement? What's happening inside of the pelvis? Can the pelvis be a little bit front and do this, and then a little bit back and do this? See what positions are more comfortable here. what positions are opening up, who are the supporters that can be part of this movement. And see if you can wave it a little bit in a more easy way now. Allow a bit more like freedom to arrive here. Yeah. And then you can start to allow these circles. You're going to the side, you're falling to the front, you're falling to the other side, you're falling to the back. And you're having these circles. And the pelvis is doing this kind of circle. Run down to the left, back, and the tuck under to the right, and front, and the front of the pelvis is opening up. You're making these circles, and you're allowing the belly to open up here. You're allowing more the spine now to receive the movement. And you see how you can lean from one leg. You're leaning from the right leg. As it goes to the left, you're going over to the right side as you're leaning from the left side. So you're intuitively connecting the movements that comes from the feet to the knees. You can also lean the hands here and allow this to be part of the movement. And then open it up and make it a bit easier. If you've been doing circle to one direction, you can change the direction. Allow your head to be free here. Allow your neck to be free. Allow the movement to really open up your back, open up your spine. See that the spine also, every circle that you're doing in the pelvis is then creating a spiral that is going up through the spine, vertebra by vertebra, one after another, all the way up, and you can focus on the spiral and see how it goes from one vertebra to another vertebra, and you can direct it a bit more to the right side of the lower back, lower vertebrae to the left, and then you can start to change the directions here of the circle. So the circle can start to be a bit more messy. It goes to the right and it goes to the left, and you start to have a little bit of figures of 8 here. So you're going more on the left side of the pelvis and then back in, and more on the right side of the pelvis and back in. Left side of the pelvis and back in. And allow, maybe you can close your eyes for a moment and just allow your spine to really wave here. And allow yourself to a little bit get lost in the movement. If at any moment it's becoming too difficult, see if you can simplify it. Simplify it by doing less. Simplify it by falling more, by making it a bit less serious, by wiggling it a little bit. And now we've been sending all the movement through the legs to the pelvis, up to the head. And what happens if the head starts to fall inwardly and allow this wiggle to go down? The head starts to fall, the weight of the head starts to fall inwardly through the spine, all the way down to the pelvis. And the pelvis is just releasing the movement, and allow the legs to start to separate from each other as you do that. And then maybe the neck is starting to also collapse inwardly, vertebra by vertebra. You can send the movement of the vertebrae of the neck down through the spine into the chest, and from the chest down into the belly, from the belly down into the lower back, from the lower back down into the pelvis, the two sides of the hip joints, and maybe the legs can start to also be free here, so sometimes a bit in, sometimes a bit out. If there's any tension anywhere, see how you can free it up here. And disorganize your body even more here. And see now how the shoulders can start to drop their weight on top of the rib cage, and the rib cage dropping that weight of the shoulder rib by rib all the way down, and then the other shoulder, and the elbows are also heavy here, and they're also receiving some kind of wiggle up, and also the shoulders can start to jump, and they jump up and then they fall down, and every jump up gives a possibility for a falling to come. So you're jumping up one side and you're falling on the other, and jumping on the other and falling on the other, and you can lean your hands into the knees here to allow those fallings, and all those fallings are arriving to the pelvis. Even if the pelvis is doing less movement or smaller movement right now, it's still, it's the movement of the shoulders that are jumping because we're leaning our hands into the knees, into the legs. You can lean your hands closer or farther away, and you can start to change the leaning a little bit in a diagonal and a little bit in a twist here and there, and smile. And see if you can make it simpler, easier, but still very, very messy. Very messy, very disorganized. And now if the shoulders were falling all the time, then the chest can start to open front and open back. Open front and open back. Open to one side and fall, and the other side and fall. And the movement in the shoulders is still happening. The movement in the elbows is still happening. The head is still falling here and falling there and disorganizing that. But the chest now is also participating here, saying, hey, I can also do this. I can fall on this side, and the chest can fall on this side, and the ribs start to move one by one. And you can sometimes give yourself a little reminder with your fingers. Lean here, lean on this side, lean a bit more in, allow open here, lean with the hands closer to the hip joint, and falling. And all those drops are falling one after another, all the ribs, rib after rib, dropping like they're dropping drops of water on top of each other. And every drop is collecting another drop and becoming bigger and falling another drop and another drop, and all the way to the lower back and the vertebrae in between the ribs are starting to participate also. And they're disorganizing and they're dancing on top of each other. And they're moving. One is moving on the right and the other one is moving on the left. And one is moving on the left and the other one is moving diagonal. And this one is making a circle and the other one is making an 8 figure. And this one is changing direction and the other one is smiling. And then it's falling all the way down to the belly, and the belly is starting to open up here. Open up and allowing the pelvis to be really, really free again. So now all the movement that's been coming from on top, the head falling on top of the neck and smile, and the neck opening up, and the shoulders falling, and the elbows dropping and jumping and disorganizing, the chest and the rib cage in each rib, and the vertebrae of the whole spine, one on top of another, all the way into the belly, and from the belly to the pelvis. And now all this movement is going through the pelvis into the chair, a little bit from the right side of the pelvis, a little bit more from the left side of the pelvis, and maybe a bit more on the right side of the hips. And you can use your fingers here to allow a little bit of this kind of disorganization like you're trying to free it up, almost like you're trying to take something and shake it. You can shake it, shake the leg a little bit. You can take one leg and just shake it as these folds are still happening. The whole movement is happening at the same time, and you're finding a lot of openness here, and it's very, very free. And then also the other side. Hip joints are opening more. And then from the hip joints, all the movement is going down, 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 into the hips, into the pelvis, into the hip joint, in towards the knees, and you put your arms on the knees, and you can send the knees away from you by leaning on them, or you can bring them with your fingers towards you. You can lean on them, so you're collecting them towards you, or you're leaning on them like that to push them a little bit away. And then you keep disorganizing this knee, that knee, leaning a bit on this side, leaning on that side, creating a big, big mess with a big, big smile. Cha, cha, cha. Cha, 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 cha. Cha, cha, cha. And from the knees, you connect it down to the feet, and each leg can work separately from the other one. And if this is difficult, try to simplify, but stay with the movement as big as possible. Like you want this to be very, very exciting, but also very calm. You want to stay calm on top of the movement. You want the movement to keep evolving, to keep growing, and you want yourself to stay calm on top of it all the time. Cha, 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 cha. And remember the head, shoulders, ribs, elbows, jumping, the neck, the spine, between the ribs, the spine all the way down to the lower back, the connection between the chest and the pelvis, the lower back and the belly, the hip joints, the knees, all the way down to the feet. Smile, cha, cha, cha. And see if you can disorganize it even a little bit more. Create a big mess for a moment, but try to, as you create a bigger mess, try to calm yourself down. It's a bigger mess, but it's something very, very calm inside. Almost like it doesn't affect your breath. Keep disorganizing the legs, so the legs are not, they're not going in and out at the same time. The one is going in, the other one is going out. This one is disorganizing. One is straight and the other one is just more, you can jump them a little bit up. You can grab them with your fingers here and jump them a little bit up and lean on your chair. And you're grabbing on the front here and you're leaning and you keep disorganizing them. And then the other side and giving a bit more rolling of the pelvis here and circles of the pelvis and circles of the chest. And not worry about falling down. You can always put your feet back down. And you can put the left leg and take the right leg a bit up and see if you can wiggle it here. Closer to your chest, farther, a bit more to the right, a little bit over the center. Allowing your spine here to be free. And send it. And go on the other side. Rolling a bit here. The right leg is on the floor, the left leg is in your hand, and you're leaning and just leaning here. This should be very, very easy. No effort, no effort. Take the both legs again for a moment of exploration here on the chair. You can fall down, you can come back, you can lean on the back of the chair. No effort on the belly, very, very relaxed. Big smile. And take the legs back down and keep this wiggle. Very soft, very small. And see if you can have now, try to find the mechanism of pushing from the right leg. Pushing from the right leg and receiving this wave and letting go. Receiving leg wave and letting go. Wave and wave and wave and letting go. Cha, cha, cha. So you can now just concentrate for a moment on just pushing from the right leg. Pushing from the right leg, you're receiving this kind of diagonal movement and letting go, coming back. Pushing, letting go, coming back. From the right leg. From the right leg. Yeah. Yeah. See if you can really find this mechanism here. And as you're pushing into the right leg, the pelvis goes a little bit up. And you're leaning. You can lean your left arm here into the chair behind you, behind your left pelvis. The left hand on the chair behind the left pelvis. So this mechanism can show you this kind of half turn or quarter turn while receiving this wave of movement and coming back. Wave of movement, coming back, and trying to keep it very, very light, very easy, very soft, really absolutely no effort, and very playful. All the time changing the direction, a little bit more from the front side, a little bit more from the back side, a bit more from the right side of the knee, and then inside into the left side of the pelvis, and from the left side of the knee to the back side of the sit bone, and from the big toe a little bit more from the back small toe, and one after the other, leaning a bit more into the left side, and then leaning a bit less into the left side, and allowing yourself to lean with your arm into the knee here, the right arm into the knee also, and smiling, cha cha, cha cha cha, and opening up this little bit more, cheek, 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 and then take your position a little bit more to the side of the chair, so you have left sit bone on the chair, but right sit bone is falling a little bit off. And we're going to do the same like what we did now. We're finding this mechanism. Now the sit bone is free to fall a little bit under the chair, to this side. And you can put your left hand on the side of the chair so you don't fall and you have this feeling of safety there. Cha, cha, cha. Activating here the belly, activating the rib cage, activating the shoulder blades, activating the ribs and the neck and the head. And then the leg, it's like it's going, the right leg is going, starting to go a little bit in a circle around towards the back. It's doing half a circle from the front to the back, taking a step every time, one step every time. And if something doesn't feel comfortable or doesn't feel very clear, don't insist on putting the whole foot on the floor. It can be only the toes, all the way until the foot is completely in the back, and you're receiving these movements like waves. If something is uncomfortable in the lower back, just bring your foot a little bit closer. But if you can take it far away, take it as far as you can, that you can still push. Yeah? And then take it a little bit back, step by step, all the way to the front. Yeah. And smile. Smile all the way to the front and take it like that now a few times. Stepping, 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 receiving movement, stepping, receiving movement, stepping, receiving movement until it's all the way in the back. Stepping, breathing, making it easier all the time. Even if there's a moment where you feel that there is some tension coming up, in order to stay in the position, see if you can maneuver yourself around that. Maneuver yourself around that. You're taking it a little bit around, a little bit around, a little bit around. If you need to put the knee closer to you, the foot closer to you, you can also do that. Take the foot closer to you, and smile. Yeah, make it easier and simpler. And one last time, do it also with the foot really close to you, really under you. Cha, 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 cha. You come back to the center and activate again the feet here, both feet, both sit bones wiggling around, both sides of the pelvis and both sides of the rib cage, both shoulders and elbows and jumping around and the neck free and a big smile. And see what's different now between the whole right side of the hip joints and the pelvis and the left side. Just because we opened this mechanism and we haven't opened this mechanism yet. Just see if you can feel some kind of a difference. And it's okay if you don't, and you can wiggle it out, and you can disorganize it, and you can take it from this direction and that direction. Yeah, and let's take the other side. So get yourself, let's start from here. So first, we'll open this mechanism. We'll do that already on the side. Open this mechanism. You can put your right hand behind you on the chair, and you open this mechanism of pushing from the left leg, pushing from the left leg, pushing, pushing, relaxing the neck here, relaxing the spine here, relaxing the shoulder blades here, relaxing your smile here. Cha, 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 and receiving a little bit more of this waving from the foot to the knee to the pelvis, all the way from the left side into the right side, and maybe a little bit it starts to turn your quarter way around. Cha, 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 cha. And see if when you come back, if the pelvis can fall a little bit out of the chair. The left side of the pelvis, the left sit bone can start to fall a bit outside of the chair. You can even put your left hand on top of your hip joint and give some weight there when you come back. Check that you open up something there, and something in your lower back, your belly is participating, your lower spine is happy here, the lower ribs are communicating with the pelvis and they're opening up a bit more. And then you take that mechanism and you start to move the foot around in a circle, half circle all the way back. So the foot starts to move, take small steps, moves until the side, and you don't need to insist to put the whole foot on the floor. Whatever you can lean on the floor to receive some kind of a stable ground to move from. And take the leg a bit to the back. If you can take it really back without it interfering with your lower back too much, take it back. If you need to bring it a bit closer to you, that's fine. Bring it to where it's comfortable, and then disorganize. Disorganize until it's all the way in the back, and you're falling here, and find how even when there are some tensions coming up, that you can still survive this by smiling and simplifying it and keep going. And then take it one step at a time, all the way back to the front. And just do that a few times, taking the left leg around from front to back to front in a half a circle, in small steps, while sending movement, waves through the knee to the pelvis, to the back, through the spine, and an open belly, into the chest, through the ribs, into the shoulder blades, through the shoulder blades, down the neck, up the spine, into the head, from the head back down, into the shoulders, from the shoulders back down, into the elbows, from the elbows back down, into the wrists, from the wrists back up, jumping, the elbows, jumping the elbows into the shoulders, from the shoulders back into the ribs, from the ribs back into the belly, from the belly back into the pelvis, and the leg goes around and around, and one last time you can go front, and a little bit back, and a little bit closer to you, and smile, and come back to sit on the middle of the chair and activate the big mess again. Activate the big mess here, and see again what changed, what is different than before. How can you activate the big mess here in the upper part of the body? So shoulders and elbows they like to do like a little dance between them. They're jumping, they're falling. Every jump is followed by a fall. Every fall can be a beginning of a new jump. Yeah, and you can turn them around also. Turn them around in a very disorganized way, how you can lean into your knees, leaning into the knees, allowing the knees to open the pelvis. Yeah. And so shoulder and elbow are jumping around across from each other. The palms of the hands here can disorganize, and you can lean the elbows into the knees and falling down. Keep activating the pelvis also here, and keep activating the smile also here. And maybe you're leaning one elbow and one palm of the hand, the right elbow and the left palm of the hand. Cha 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 cha. And you can change that around. Left elbow leaning into the left knee, the right palm of the hand into the right knee. And you can also change those. Each hand is leaning into the opposite knee, and each elbow into the opposite knee. Even if it doesn't make sense, even if something doesn't feel very comfortable, you can like find a way to make it happen, even if it's smaller, even if it feels a little bit inside a limitation. How can you, inside a limitation, find freedom and see if you can stick to that freedom? What still works? What can move? How can the pelvis move more here? And come back to the both arms on the knees, and see if you can hear again. You're leaning from the tips of the finger, and you're sending this movement, and you're sending movement from the right side and then from the left side, the right side and from the left side. And now it's this mechanism that we dealt with before. So you had the right leg pushing, and you having a diagonal towards the left shoulder, and then the left pushing and doing a diagonal towards the right shoulder. And now you can play with the both, the right and then the left, and the right and the left. And the tips of the fingers here can help you on the front of the knees. So the tips of the fingers are on the front of the knees, and they're like pulling. And you're receiving from the right side and from the left side. Maybe you have twice from the right and smile, and one time from the left and twice from the right, and then leaning your wrists into the shoulder, into the knees. So you're pulling and you're pushing the foot. You're pulling, you're pushing the foot. You're leaning, you're pulling, you're pushing the foot. You're leaning, and then the shoulder jumps, and then you're leaning and the elbow jumps, and you're pushing the foot, and you start to activate all these centers. All of them want to be activated together. And on top of everything, smile and see if you can relax inside of it. All the movement is still happening, and you're still very, very, very relaxed. You can say, maybe calm it down, but allow the movement to stay complicated and overwhelming a bit, and very disorganized. Yeah. And then just let that go, just activate the movement from the pelvis again, like we did in the beginning. So the pelvis is now free to roll to the front, to roll to the back, to make eights, to wiggle around. Imagine like the pelvis is inside a ball of jelly and somebody keeps hitting the ball of jelly with a spoon. And see what changed here in the pelvis from the beginning of the class. What changed here? What kind of jelly quality became more available to you? What changed? And see if you can activate that, and from there start sending from the pelvis down through the knees to the legs, and allow the legs to start to disorganize here. So they're disorganizing, the feet are falling sometimes completely straight. They can't, they don't have a stable ground anymore. And they fall from this side, but you're sending from the pelvis out, from the pelvis out the feet, from the pelvis out the feet. And you can imagine like you have these streams of energy here, and they're going through the feet back down into the floor, and the floor is zero in electricity, and that you're sending everything like that you don't need, all the electrical pulses that are accumulated in your body in different places, you're sending them from the pelvis into the leg, out into the world, out into the floor. The floor likes it, it takes it, it recycles it, gives it to the trees, gives it to other people that need it, gives it to the air, it comes back into you, and you do the whole thing again. And you're sending from the pelvis up through the spine. From the pelvis starts the whole movement. The ball of the pelvis is very open. The whole belly is like water, and water is just heavy, so you don't need to put any muscles here. The whole belly is completely relaxed. And you're sending from the pelvis into the spine, from the spine, the belly open into the ribs. And smile, and see if you can make it simpler, calmer, but still very open, very wiggly, very vibration, like a jelly, like a big ball of jelly, all the way up into the ribs, and one rib after another, it opens up a bit more, and allow the excitement to keep coming up and up and up, and as if it doesn't have any limits. Cha-cha-cha, and smile. Yeah, smile even bigger. Cha-cha-cha-cha. And find what works even better and even more interesting for you here in this moment of the class, where we've done a lot of movements from the pelvis. Cha, now you can send all the way up through the ribs to the chest. From the chest, open it up to the shoulders on the side, into the shoulders, into the arms, all the way out one arm and out the other arm, elbows and wrists, from the neck, up to the head, and then you have pelvis sending down into the floor, and pelvis sending up into the head, out from the hands, and smile and allow it to become a little bit bigger, a little bit wilder, a little bit less organized, more free and unexpected somehow. And every moment gives you another possibility of opening up, like a big tree can open up. A big tree of movement can open up from this side, and a big tree of movement can open up from that side. And see if you can smile even bigger and allow it to become even more disorganized. And for a last moment here, let it become very wild. Send the movement from the feet up through the pelvis all the way up to the head and out. From the head to the shoulders, from the shoulders to the chest, to the ribs, down into the pelvis, to the knees and out from the side of the knees to the feet out. And disorganize the feet, and disorganize the knees, disorganize the two hip joints, disorganize the pelvis, disorganize the lower back, disorganize the lower spine, connection into the belly, connection into the diaphragm, disorganize completely your rib cage and your shoulder blades on top of that, and the neck and the head, and disorganize the smile even bigger and wilder. And put your hands on your knees and keep doing like that and disorganizing. And now start to put a little bit more weight front until you're off the chair. You're off from the chair, but you're still with your knees a little bit bent, and you are leaning into the knees, sometimes straightening one knee and then straightening the other knee. And opening up a bit more from here, and slowly the legs are straightening up. And you can start to lean into the pelvis from the sides here. Put your hands there and lean into the side of the ribs. And you can take both hands and start to follow the rib cage here around in the front, all the way to the back, and back down into the pelvis, And just like when we were sitting, you want to disorganize the shoulders, disorganize the elbows, disorganize the arms, leaning into the front of the hips here, allowing yourself to slowly go down, back down, as if you're going to sit down, but you're not going to sit down. I completely removed the chair behind me. And you're going all the way down with the elbows to the knees and all the way back up. This keep disorganizing the feet. And see, here is the same kind of sensation like when we were sitting on the chair. We can roll the pelvis and roll the pelvis front and back while still disorganizing in a very wiggly way, in a very vibrating way. You can keep rolling the pelvis front and back and open up the shoulders and the neck and roll the pelvis side to side here, side to side. Also in standing, when you're standing, your pelvis is basically sitting on your legs. And then you can go front and back, and make a bit of a circle here, and smile. Circle, circle, circle on the one side, and the circle on the other side. And see if you can make a little bit bigger stance between your feet here, and you can allow here your pelvis to be really free in between the two legs. So it's like you have a pendulum And like you're swinging that pendulum in between the two sit bones. You're swinging to one side, swinging to the other side. Allow your arms here to be free. Yeah. Allow your spine here to be free. You can allow yourself to sometimes bend one knee, bend the other knee. You want to swing this pendulum to the right and swing it to the left. To the right and disorganize, and to the left and disorganize. And a little bit to the front and a diagonal and disorganize. And the left to the diagonal. And the back diagonal and disorganize. And smile and open up your lower back and your belly here. Maybe a little bit wider. And see if you do feel a little bit of tension there in the back or in the sides of the hips or the back side of the hips. How you can still find movement here around these moments of tension. How you can move around and still feel the freedom here. The freedom here. Cha, cha, and close it up a little bit. And just for the try of it, try to put your both feet together and see if still you can have some freedom in the pelvis. It makes everything a little bit more constructive, and you have more of a chance of falling because you have less of a ground underneath you, or you have less bigger stance here. And then open it up again and see if you can come back to this sending movement, this leaning. Take the right leg a little bit to the front, and you're leaning and you're receiving this waves of movement, just like when we were sitting. Wave and wave and wave and wave and wave. From the front, waving, waving, waving from the foot, from the right foot. And then take the right foot around a little bit in a circle to the side, half a quarter of a circle to the side. And you're waving and waving and waving. And don't let your left leg become stiff. Allow the left leg to keep being free. And see if you can take the right leg a little bit behind you, the right leg behind you. And you're still waving here. Even if the knees are bent, you don't let them be stiff. They can be bent, but they can still be open to movement. Cha, 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 cha. And you're opening a bit more back to the side and back to the front. And just a few times going to the front and to the back, disorganizing it, smiling, making it simple and easy, finding the simplicity and the easiness in it. Even if something becomes a little bit difficult, even if you feel muscular tension, see what you can do. Maybe do less, maybe do smaller, maybe do it with a bigger smile, maybe disorganize it a little bit more, maybe see if you can find something that gets you up a little bit, see if you can raise your vibration, raise your attention, raise your intention. Cha, cha, and a bigger smile, and then take the left leg in front of you and do the same thing. You're sending these waves of movement and disorganizing at the same time. Sending the wave and disorganizing. So we're not looking for one very, very precise mechanism. We're looking for a lot of different mechanisms. A lot that can work. Some of them might not work. Some of them might work halfway. Some of them might partly work on one side but work less on the other side, and some of them might open and work even more than before, and the other side is even more open. And then from the front, disorganizing this mechanism of going to the front and disorganizing and taking it a little bit towards the side, the left leg. And even if the right leg needs to be bent here, don't let that get you stuck. And smile and take the left leg a bit more to the back. Cha cha cha, cha cha, cha cha cha, cha cha, cha cha cha. Yeah. And the back, it's like this. And then back to the side, left leg, and it's the left leg that still operates. The left leg still operates. And then go a few times from the front, all the way to the side, all the way to the back, with the left leg operating. Left leg operating. Right leg is kind of the stable leg here, but the stable leg doesn't mean that it's stiff. It keeps being very, very movable, very durable. And smile, and open up more possibilities, and believe in the possibilities, and see that they can grow. Give them the possibility to grow. Give them the space to grow. And to the front, and all the way to the back. One last time, and all the way to the front, one last time. And then come back to the both feet. And we're going to do, with the both feet, we're going to start disorganizing. So sometimes one is going back, and the other one is going front, and then this one is going to the side, and smile. Yeah. And see if you can stay calm on top of all of this. Cha, 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 cha. Yeah. And you want to disorganize a bit to the right, and disorganize to the front. So it's as if the right leg is going on a circle to the right back, and the left leg is also going in a circle, half circle, but they keep disorganizing. So one time you're throwing from the right side, then you're throwing movement from the left side, and from the right side, the left side, and you smile. And to all of that you add calmness. And after you add calmness, you wash from the head down to the shoulders, down to the arms, down to the chest and the rib cage, all the way down the legs and out, 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 out. You do that a few times. You wash from the head, and the head, it means that the head starts to fall here as the legs keeps changing directions. And smile, and down the head to the chin, to the back of the neck, into the chest, open towards the shoulders, and each hand is helping the other shoulder, and the other elbow, and the other hand go out and clean it out, and down through the whole front of the chest, and the whole front side of the ribs here, and the whole back of the neck, and the back of the spine, and the belly, and into the pelvis, and down, down, down the legs, all the way down, 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 down to the floor, from the back, and from the side, and from the inside, and one more time, from the head, cleaning, taking it all the way down, and it's falling, and into the chest and the hands, to the arms, out from the palms of the hands, into the chest again, the ribs, and the belly, and make some sound with it, and see if you can have it a bit calmer and into the pelvis, and a bit more disorganized, and see if you can let it grow, and out from the right leg, and out from the left leg, and out from the right leg again, out from the left leg again, out from the right and to the left. And keep disorganizing for the last few moments of a big mess here. Walk around a little bit. Change directions. Change your front. See if there's anything that changes when you change the front. Maybe now you can think about the back side of your body here. You can think about the side of the body, and the arms can start changing direction. Just a little moment here at the end that you can allow the movement to come out from all sides, from underneath the armpit, from the side of the ribs, from the back, from the sit bones down into the pelvis, and allow the knees to jump up, and allow elbows to jump up, and allow your smile to be bigger. And you can take one knee, and like we did on the on the chair, cha cha cha, and throw it away. And the other knee also disorganize it all the time. Keep disorganizing, cha cha cha, disorganizing, cha. Send it out, and take the right hand and clean the right side of the head, cha. Keep disorganizing everything with the sound, cha. One more time with a smile, cha. Take the left and clean the left side of the head, cha. We're grabbing from the back of the neck to the left side, cha. With a sound and a smile, cha. Right hand on the left shoulders, cleaning the whole hand out, cha. The whole side, cha. And take the whole left hand and throw it out, cha. And take the right leg hand and throw it out, cha. And clean the whole hand, cha. And make a sound and a smile, cha. And clean the front chest and smile, and the side ribs and smile, cha 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 cha. And the belly, cha 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 cha. And the lower back, cha 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 cha. And again the chest, and the belly, cha 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 cha. And the rib sides, cha 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 cha. And the back, cha 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 cha. And take the both arms and clean the whole right leg out, cha. Send it out. And clean the whole right leg out, cha. And send it with a sound. And one more time with a big wiggle, disorganized, cha. And the left leg now. Clean the whole left leg, cha, and send it. Again, the left leg. Make a big sound, cha. And one last one, even louder, even smiley, cha. And let it go for a moment. And there. Close your eyes. Just relax into your body again. See what is still active in your body now. What is still available there. What opened up. What changed since we started the class. What is still vibrating. What is still active. Where did you work hard? Where did you relax? Where did you work hard and then learn how to relax? Where did you have ambition? Where did you discover softness and openness and freedom? Okay, thank you.